Hey, hey. Hey, hey, y'all. Let me wait and get a couple people in the room. How y'all doing today? Make sure you let your families and friends know that I am here. It is time for the Shamika Saves show, okay? Hey, my YouTube family, my TikTok family. I'll give y'all a few minutes. Let me know if you can hear me. No, I don't know who this is. Sorry. What's going on, everybody? Make sure you tag somebody, you share the post, letting your friends and family know I'm here. Let me get my fan ready. Ain't no fan in this room, okay? So I got to make sure I stay cool, okay? Y'all talking to a certified auntie here. And you know us aunties, we must stay cool, okay? So I hope everybody is doing good. Let me know if you can hear me, please. And let's get to talking about what is really going on with your student loans, okay? I'm waiting on my I'm waiting on my YouTube folks who's watching to go ahead on and say hello so I know y'all are there, because I don't see anything. Holla at your girl. Hey, hey. Give y'all a few minutes before I go ahead on and start. Thank y'all for being here on Monday. Thank you, Latasha. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. We'll get one more minute, and then we're going to just go ahead on and start. And who catches it, catches it. Who doesn't, we'll catch it on the replay. Okay? Hey, Jody. How are you? Again, as always, if you guys have questions, go ahead and drop those questions in the comment box so that I can answer them for you. If you got questions about credit, student loan, business credit, business formations, your taxes, stuff that you are seeing in the news, please drop that and I'll do my best. Hey, Filthy McNasty. Okay, that's a crazy name, but hey. Hey, Miss Aura. Long time no see. You always on the hustle. I know that. Okay. So again, if you got a question, you go ahead on and drop that so that I can answer it. Okay. So I said I was going to do something new, and I was like, every Monday I'm going to try to have a theme outfit that goes along with what I'm talking about. So I wanted y'all to see my little, if y'all can see it. It's the dress for handprints, okay? All right, so I'm going to tell y'all what this all means. Bam, 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 okay? So I'm wearing the hands on the dress outfit today because I want to tell the government to take their hands off our money, okay? Thank you, sir, for been following me, okay? Yeah, you didn't know, okay? So this is take your hands off our money, okay? So that's what I got on today. I'm representing for y'all because your girl don't have no student loans anymore. Thank God, okay? So if you guys have student loans, y'all need to make sure you pay attention if you have not already seen the video that I made that came out during the week, because a lot of y'all are going to want to know what is going on, because May 5th is going to be here sooner than y'all think. And some of y'all might find yourself on the wrong side of the team, or excuse me, wrong side of the game y'all think y'all playing, okay? So we don't want that. Again, so drop your questions if you have them. I'm going to go ahead on and start. Yellow butterflies, boom, bam. I know that's right. She came in with a question. Drop those. Yellow butterfly says, under bankruptcy, when you wipe out the EIDL loans. Would you still be able for an FHA loan later? Very good question. Simple answer, yes. But let me explain to those who do not know what I am talking about. Yellow Butterflies is asking, once you put your EIDL loans into bankruptcy, for most of you, y'all didn't even know that that was something that you can do, but it is something that you can do. There are going to be some parameters, okay? Because some of you have your EIDL loans in your business name. Some of you have your EIDL loans in your name, okay? Because y'all know back during COVID, everybody was doing the quick hustle. Y'all was trying to get the money, you're trying to get the grant, and some of y'all weren't even thinking, you were just putting your name on so you could get some money in your bank account. I understand, okay? But yes, you could put those loans into bankruptcy. She asked, would she still be able for an FHA loan? That is the Federal Housing Administration. Yes, you will be able to buy a home. But Yellow Butterflies, you have to wait 2 years. Thank you, Jody. Jody said it looks good to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have to wait 2 years before you can purchase a home, and any government program that you plan on using, with the exception of student loans, you will have to wait, okay? If you do bankruptcy, you get out of bankruptcy, and then you want to get student loans, there is no break, okay? They will allow you to get student loans. Why? Because in their minds, giving you student loans helps you go to school, which in turn helps you become an individual that will have more earning power because you have education or more education, okay? But if you're going to buy a house after bankruptcy, regardless of which chapter you file, you will have to wait 2 years before you can purchase. I talked about it last week that if you guys did not know, you can do an offer and compromise with the SBA. If you do not want to do a bankruptcy, an offer and compromise is where you will offer them a certain dollar amount that you will pay, and you are asking them to accept this dollar amount in exchange for the amount that you owe. The caveat is you have to cut that check, okay? They're not going to want you to make payments. They're not going to say, okay, we'll take $20,000 less, and then you go, oh, well, I want to make payments. They are not going to do that. They will only take the payment that you said they wanted in full once they accept your offer, okay? So yes, you can. Good question. And if somebody else did not know, now you know, okay? So, all right, so let me see what y'all sent over here on TikTok, and then I'm going to get to the rest. All right, T Black says, good evening, Shamika and everyone. Hey, T Black and everyone, I'm sure says hello. I know Miss Aura did, okay? Let's see. Once a bankruptcy, Two Yam says, once a bankruptcy is dismissed, can you reapply immediately? Reapply for what, Two Yams? Let me make sure I understand what you're saying. If you are talking about can you reapply for credit immediately after bankruptcy, yes. If you are asking can you reapply for another, I don't know. I'm assuming you're talking about credit. But a home, 2 years. A car, right away as soon as your bankruptcy is over. Credit cards, right away as soon as your bankruptcy is over, because you have met your requirements. You are free to do whatever you would like to do. So if I did not answer your question, please let me know. Just add what it was you were talking about, and then I will get on it. And anybody else, please go ahead and drop a question, as well as tag and share with somebody, because I started my social media, journey when your boy was in office, and your boy is back in office. And now that he is in office, I'm noticing that there's a spike, okay, in a lot of the same information that I was talking about 4 or so years ago, okay? People talk about Joe Biden being sleepy, and this didn't happen, and this didn't happen. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. We were not complaining as much as we are complaining right now. The things that are happening in this world, that y'all see them on the news, I don't even got to tell you, they were not happening under another administration. So either the other administration knew what they were doing, they either knew how to hide things very well, or the news was not showing us what was really going on. I don't know which of the three, but there is a difference in administration. If you can't tell or feel it, then you might be asleep, okay? Things are, I told you guys to give me, to give us at least 6 months, to give the administration 6 months or so to get rolling, so that we have an idea of what is going to happen. And here we are, 4 getting ready to go on 5 months in, and now things that I feel that are important and pertain to you guys and your pockets, which is why I am back out of taking a chill pill and jumping on this, because there's a lot of things that you guys need to know. Okay. All right. Filthy McNasty says business credit for my veteran-owned company build up. I just chopped up credit building. Okay, so is that a question? Okay, so if anybody is interested in business credit, I always tell you guys, at least if you're gonna talk or work with me, it is best to make a consultation appointment with me, because one, I need to look at your credit. That is your personal credit, because that does matter. And then if you do not already have a NAV account, NAV.com, if you do not already have a NAV account, it would be nice if you have the $49 paid account, so that we will be eligible, so that we will be able to see your paydex score and some of your other credit scores that they give you, because, and this is just an easy hustle. I hate to even use the word hustle, but that's exactly what it is. It's a very easy hustle. There's nothing illegal about it. A lot of you are leaving money on the table, because almost everybody that I know says they swear up and down they got a business, whether it's a sole proprietor, a fictitious name, doing business as type of business, or LLC, corporation, S Corp, you name it, nonprofit, that too. If you have any of those, okay, then you should have business credit. And if you don't, then you are basically telling these people that, hey, I am myself, but I am also my business, but I only want credit on myself, which is crazy, because you are also eligible to get business credit on your business. So if you don't want a double buying power, the opportunity to have double credit, then, I mean, some people don't. I can't see why you wouldn't. I'll throw this out there and then I'll move on. If you file bankruptcy, because a lot of people are, bankruptcy filings are through the roof, not just from businesses, also on the personal side. If you file a personal bankruptcy, and say you have credit cards on the personal, credit cards on the business, you can still keep your business credit. So you can be in bankruptcy, getting rid of your personal debt, all the while you still got a credit card. So for some people who hated to give up their credit, because y'all need to rent cars, you travel and you need to be able to put money down to hold things, and you can't do that personally because your personal credit is in repair, your business credit can do that for you. It still has your name on it, and you can still do the same exact things that you would do on the personal side. So if you don't have both business credit and personal credit, I don't know what you're doing. It is, in my opinion, a mistake, especially if you have credit. Okay. Yellow Butterfly says, thank you for answering my question. How do I book a consultation for bankruptcy? And with a bankruptcy, can you clear everything but one creditor? No, I have Navy Fed and don't want to mess that relationship up. Unfortunately, we cannot teeter-totter when it comes to bankruptcy. You're going to have to choose a side. So when it comes to filing a personal bankruptcy, you do have to put your creditors in there. I have seen people file bankruptcy and they leave their mortgage out. They might leave a vehicle out. Their attorney may have a reason for doing that. I don't see why you would do it, because when you're in bankruptcy, you want to be able to have that protection. I can tell you that if you file bankruptcy, Yellow Butterflies, and Navy Federal finds out and you did not include them, they will shut your account down immediately, and then you will lose your relationship with them. But here is how it works with Navy Federal. If you have a relationship with Navy Federal, whether it's a bank account or a credit card or both, if you put your credit card or your loan into your bankruptcy, the banking relationship can still stand. Navy Federal will be very happy to keep your business, especially if you have a ACH deposit. So if you get your disability to that account, if you get your paycheck to that account, they are going to more than likely keep your business because you still mean money to them. They can still make money from overdrafts. Once they forgive you, they will allow you to get another credit card and another loan again. They'll give you a line of credit. If you want to buy a car, you just have to wait out that time. Usually, if you want to go back to them, I would say you need at least 12 months because they need to see that you can demonstrate that you fixed whatever was wrong before and you're now able to pay them. But don't worry about losing your relationship. Here is what I will say to some people, and I'm going to get to y'all questions in a minute, because a lot of people are worried about losing Navy Federal or any bank. I have only seen maybe 2 since I've been doing the forms for individuals that a bank decided they no longer wanted to do business with someone. If that is you, then all they would simply do is cut your check through a cashier's check, and then you can go and take that money and open up another bank account. Now, if you are afraid and you are going to file, but you're afraid that they're going to close your account and that's where the majority of your money goes, there's nothing wrong with changing your direct deposit to another bank temporarily so that you can see if Navy Federal is going to cut ties with you. I am a person that I do not like surprises. I do try to get ahead of things, which means I think a lot because I'm trying to think of all the possibilities and the outcomes. I am not always 100% right, but I am damn near close. So that is what I would advise you to do. If anybody wants to book an appointment with me, you could go right to my website, shamikasaves.com, and just book one. If you need the link, I'll send it to you. Okay, but you can go right to my website, shamikasaves.com, or send me an email at shamikasaves@gmail.com, and I'll also send you the link where you can book there. I do think that if anybody wants to file bankruptcy, it is something you should discuss with someone else because there are other people who have done this a little bit more. I'll give you an example. I've seen more things. I've talked to more people. I've filed the paperwork. So I could throw out a couple things that you should probably think about that most people would not tell you about, especially if you did this on your own. Okay? Philip Ness says, how can I clean up the personal credit as well? If you have to clean up your personal credit, it depends on what cleanup is. Everybody's credit situation is different. If you are the type of individual you have nothing but charge-offs, meaning you did not pay the original creditor who gave you the credit card or the loan, that is going to be very difficult because that is really the bank's only recourse to prevent you from doing what you did to them to somebody else. So a lot of times they are not going to give you a lot of wiggle room, which is why I prefer that if you don't pay your bills, I actually like it when the original creditor puts a collection on your account. Now, yes, it hurts your credit because you're going to get another drop in your score because you have another item on your credit, but you will be able to pay less to the debt collector than you can to the original creditor. I'm just going to give y'all an example. If I loaned you $100 and you were supposed to pay me back $120 because that's interest, right? You don't pay me. I'm doing everything I can to get this money back from you. And you keep saying, man, let me give you 80. Man, let me give you 75. Man, let me give you 60. And I'm like, no, I gave you 100. And with interest is 120, that's what I'm going to want. And that's what I'm going to take in order to ever loan you any money again. Okay. You're going to have to pay me back in full the same amount that I paid you plus interest because that's how it goes. Now, after 6 months, I'm going to be like, you know what? This person ain't going to give me no money. Forget it. I'm just going to go over here and give it to my cousin over here and see if they can get the money. Now, my cousin may say, well, you know what? I'm going to get this money from this person. I know they owe you $120, but I'm going to pay you $30 to buy the debt, and then I will go after this person. When they now come after you, they're okay with accepting 75 or 65. Why? Because they did not originally send me the 100. They did not originally loan you the 100. You do not owe them the $120. They only paid $30 for your debt. So even if you paid them 75, they still got paid 100% more than what they paid to buy it. So debt collectors can be good if they are reporting on your credit for the debt that you did not pay. Unfortunately, the original creditor does not have to remove that debt even though you paid the debt collector. So there are some pros and cons. It really depends on what you have. And you can tell me, filthy McNasty, what you have on your credit, that might be able to help me answer it better. If you got repos, you got things that are very difficult, a lot of stuff from the original creditor, it is much harder to clean your credit. Although there are ways, it just doesn't mean that they are going to be, look at that sweat. It just doesn't mean that it's going to be successful in all cases, because they're not, okay? Hey, Miss Loretta. Miss Loretta said, hey, everybody. Miss Ora said, what is the name of the credit cards for the business? There are, so let me tell you, when it comes to credit for business, you can get business credit cards. And I'm going to have you guys on TikTok and to go ahead on and share and tag and all that good stuff if you don't mind. I like to tell y'all to like my stuff. I know I don't do that enough, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to remember to do that with you guys. When it comes to business credit cards, there are not that many, believe it or not. There are not a lot of business credit cards out there, and that's because the majority of businesses run off of credit lines, not credit cards, okay? So a credit line would be, and I'll give you an example. I have a JCPenney's credit card, okay? A card, not a credit card that has a Visa or Master logo, but like a store card, okay? Now, yes, I can only use it in JCPenney's. If JCPenney's has Sephora or any of those other stores inside, I can also use my JCPenney's card at that store because it's inside of their store. They're using the same credit card machine, so it's okay, right? The difference is whatever I use, instead of making a monthly minimum payment, whatever I use is what they're going to want back in full, okay? So you will find that when it comes to business credit, a lot of this is going to be credit lines, not credit cards, okay? Or a store card, if you want to call it. So to me, a credit card is something with a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, you know, those type of logos. If it doesn't have that and it's just a card that you can use in the store, that's a credit line, or you can just call it, a store card. You usually cannot use those in other places, all right? They have them for Home Depot. Home Depot has them. Lowe's has them. IKEA has them. Sam's Club. Almost every place that you can get a actual credit card from, you can also get a line of credit to use in the store also, and you could do that for your business. Sometimes they even allow you to do that for you personally, but you can do it for your business. There are only a few business credit cards. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's only like 15 of them. Not that easy to get business credit cards with the Visa and MasterCard logo, because, and it's crazy because I'll tell you why. They do it because with the line of credit, you got to pay in full. With the credit card, you get to make minimum payment. And because they may not necessarily be sure of your buying power, how your payment history is, they rather give you a line of credit than a credit card. Okay. Hey, Miss Sharon. Okay, sorry, yellow butterflies, I know. And it's not a bad thing. Navy Federal has tons of people who have filed bankruptcy against them, me included, and I still have an account with them, okay? Thank you, Navy Federal. Now, if you got somebody like Discover, they're going to say, get out, we don't want you, okay? I've even done it with USAA. Thank you, USAA. These banks understand that people are not always going to be able to pay their bills. Things happen. And they can't just cut everybody off who files bankruptcy, because you know what will happen to them? They will shut down. So they find ways to punish you a little bit, but then they still keep you around, okay? What will happen to them? They will shut down. So they find ways to punish you a little bit, but then they still keep you around, okay? All right. Hey, Miss Sharon. Keep your situation. I can tell you right now, if your accounts are, hold on, it's saying reconnecting. I don't know if I lost you guys on YouTube, but Miss Sharon, if you, because I already know your situation, if they have not closed them by now, you are still with them. Usually when they close your accounts, they do it within the first 2 to 3 months because they want to be done with you. They usually do it by the time you have your hearing on the Zoom call, okay? If they have not done it by now, they're not going to close them. You are going to be okay. And you don't even have to be afraid. You could call them and ask them, are they going to keep your business? And more than likely, they're going to say yes. Because a lot of us have been with them a long time. And what is $7,000 or $25,000 to a $20, $30 million a year company? it's nothing but change in the bucket. Okay. All right, Aaron Kagler says you have collections, LVNV funded. I'll tell you about this. If you have LVNV funded, you need to beware because LVNV funded does like to sue. Okay, I don't know the amounts. I will tell you that if you have an amount that is over $1,500 and you have not paid, I would be concerned. Okay, LVNV funding, a couple of those, they are not letting people slide with those amounts. That and higher is like, we're gonna sue you. Okay, 2 yams, thank you. So no, after you file bankruptcy, you cannot refile bankruptcy for another 7 years. Okay, that is why when I tell y'all to file and to make sure you are going through all of your creditors, it's important because you can't refile for a while. Now, I do have people that have come to me and they're like 6-7 months short. And I'm like, girl, if you about to file and you got this little bit of time to wait, or even if you got a year, I'm just going to speak for me. I'm not paying. Why? Because it's already going to mess up my credit because I didn't pay. Me not paying for a year ain't going to do nothing more but put late payments. Once your credit drops so far down, it's not going to go any further. That is why you've never seen anybody with a 0 credit score, because it's not possible. Okay. The lowest you can probably get, even though they say 350, I've never seen a 300 credit score in my life. I have seen 400s, but I've never seen a 300. Okay. And credit scores do go from 350 to 850 or 800, depending on the bureau. So if you want to refile and you got a short amount of time, I would just say, forget it. I'm not paying it. And then I would put it in bankruptcy when it's time. And then I would just let my whole credit clean itself up from filing. Okay. But you have to wait a certain amount of time. Now I'm going to add this. If you have been dismissed from a bankruptcy because you did not pay, or you couldn't keep up your payments, or you filed and you changed your mind but now you want to file again, yes, those ways you can refile, unless the trustee says that it's with prejudice. If it's with prejudice, you got to wait. They'll tell you, hey, you got to wait 4 months before you can refile. But there are a lot of people who start the filing, it goes on their credit, then they decide they don't want to file, and now here we are a couple months later, you want to file again. Those people can refile with no wait time. Okay. If you're not sure which situation or category you fall in, please let me know. Okay. Miss Sharon, let me know if I froze. I hope it's not freezing. Let me know if it's froze here on YouTube. I went and got a dedicated Wi-Fi box, so I would not have any of that happening. So if it's happened, y'all let me know. Okay. All right, let me see what y'all asking real quick, because I ain't even get to tell y'all what I come here to talk about tonight, okay? Thank you, Mr. McNasty. I'm going to try to have a McNasty evening. I don't know what that consists of, but it sounds pretty good, okay? You have a good one too, okay? Let me see. I just want to check, make sure nobody's asking me anything. Again, anybody that's new on TikTok, if y'all got a question about what you're seeing on the news, your credit, bankruptcy, business credit, any of those things, businesses, taxes, please drop your question so that you can get your answer. Okay. All right. Now YouTube should be going. Thank you, Frat Boy Cal. I'm hoping that it's not. I'm waiting to see. Anybody let me know if it's freezing. I don't know. Okay. Silver E Glance. Thank you for coming over. This is crazy. This is I ain't even gonna trip. Okay. Cause this is just what I expect to happen. Okay. I was saying about LVNV funding. If you have more than $1,500 in unpaid bills to them, okay? And I don't mean in total, I mean one. If you have more than one, I would be concerned about them suing. This is sue season, okay? People aren't getting any money. Hey, Miss Cynthia, a lot of these companies are not getting money, and it's easier for them to go and hire an attorney and add $2,000, $3,000 to your debt and then sue you in court. And because they already know, more than likely, you're not going to show up. If you do show up, you don't have a plan, and their lawyer is going to win. And more than likely, they're going to be able to garnish your wages, which y'all already see. That's what they're trying to do with student loans. And we don't need that. Okay. Hey, Nicola. Miss Loretta, Miss Loretta, now you know I love you. but I have been doing bankruptcy paperwork for years. Okay. So absolutely, yes, I help with bankruptcy. That's why I was able for us to have our little, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So yes. Hey, Miss Cynthia, you say you're here after church. That is good. Thank you very much for coming. And thank you for sliding on in after church. God gonna bless you. Okay. All right. So my original reason for being here is, of course, I like to be here with you guys on Monday, but I did want to touch on really quick what is going to happen May 5th, which is really coming around the corner, and it's Cinco de Mayo, okay? They are, let me tell you how they be playing in our faces. They know the majority of people are going to be drunk on Cinco de Mayo, because who don't drink on May 5th? Some of y'all don't, but the majority of people do. May 5th is the day that the federal government is going to lift their freeze of coming after you guys and turning your debts over to the Treasury Offset Program, better known as TOP, T-O-P, okay? The Treasury Offset Program is a program that they've been had around for a very long time. You guys probably did not know too much about it. Only people who knew about it were individuals who had a tax refund and you did not get your taxes because they took your tax refund because you didn't pay your student loans. That was the only time that the majority of you have had any contact with the TOP program. Now, what is going to happen now is they're also doing a Social Security offset program. That is something that has never happened for student loans, unless they're way old, because usually they just take your refunds, and they usually do Social Security offsets when you owe Social Security. They really didn't come after people for student loans. So if you didn't catch the video, here it is in just a summation, okay? The rules say that you have 270 days to miss your student loan payments before the collection process starts. So May 5th is not the day that they're going to start taking money from y'all bank accounts or from y'all jobs or anything like that. They are only going to lift the hold so that they can start counting, okay? Now, we all know, if you've been watching me long enough, y'all know how the government is. And I don't know why it's frozen, but thank you for telling me that, Miss Sharon. If you guys can't see me, just hop on over here on TikTok. I'm live over here for those that can see, okay? I don't know why it's not working. But anywho, so May 5th is the day they're going to lift the freeze. 270 days. After 270 days, which is about 9 months, then you should start being referred over to the TOP program, okay? That's the Treasury Offset Program. Now, from that, they will make a determination what is the best way to get the money from you. If you are on Social Security disability, they are going to take 15% of your Social Security disability payments every month until the debt is repaid, which for a lot of people is until you die. If you are receiving Social Security because you reach 62, you retire until you die. If you are receiving Social Security because you reach 62, you retire from your job, they also can take 15% of your check to pay back your loans until it's repaid and or until you die, okay? Now, will they come after your bank accounts or garnish your wages at your jobs? Yes, that's also something that they have not done before. Now, here is what they are stating that they can do. They can garnish your wages without having to take you to court like your credit card companies do. Your credit card companies have to take you to court to get a judge's permission to garnish your wages. The federal government is saying we don't have to do that. All we have to do is prove that you owe. We're going to subpoena your banks and your jobs, and we're going to tell them that they're going to give us this money. And please don't think for a second that they can't find out if you make any money. They will know. And how will they know, Shamika? Because if you have a job, which is a W-2 employee, for majority of you, you are paying Social Security and Medicare. So the government will know that you are earning money because you're making money, you're making payments towards a federal program every month, okay? If you are in school, they will know that. Most of y'all still gonna be getting loans anyway, even though y'all haven't paid for A lot of y'all still going to be doing y'all tax refunds. They're going to see that because they're going to cross-check your social security number to see if you owe. And if you owe, they're going to snatch those funds. Okay, let me see what y'all asking real quick. All right. Okay. Sylvia Todd says, hello, I tried to message you a couple times. I was trying to get a power of attorney for my mom. Miss Sylvia, you messaged me at shamikasaves@gmail because I do respond to everybody. If you have, I don't know if you messaged me on TikTok or you sent me an email in my personal email, but I would prefer you to send me an email in my personal email and I will respond to you. A power of attorney is not hard at all to get. We just find out what powers your mom is going to allow you to have. If she's going to allow you a full power of attorney where you can open bank accounts, get credit cards, basically be her, that's not a problem. If she wants to do one that's not giving you as much leeway, we can do those too, okay? So they have different types of power of attorneys, but absolutely send me an email at shamikasaves@gmail and I will message you back. Jess says, I just got a letter from IRS about a levy. What can I do to apply for hardship? Can't afford to pay a 2018 balance. Thank you for sharing that, Jess. If you got a letter from the IRS, and you are not the only one, okay? There are a lot of people getting letters from the IRS saying that they're going to owe and they will levy your account. First, let me let you know that they are not bluffing. They will absolutely levy your account. And if y'all don't know what levy means, it means, y'all saw that? They're going to take the money out your bank account. They ain't going to take all of it. They usually have a set amount that they want to take, a certain percentage, and they will take that amount and leave you with whatever is left, even if it's change, okay? So what you can do, you can get in front of it and say, I can't afford it. Maybe I should think about filing bankruptcy. It's a 2018 debt. It is way past the time period that the IRS makes you wait. When you want to throw your IRS debt into a bankruptcy, it has to at least be 2 years old. This is from 2018, so it definitely meets that requirement. Another thing you can do is if your money is funny, okay, you got a household, you work, you got a household full of kids, or you upside down at the end of the month, you can do an IRS hardship. They do have a hardship request form. It is form 433-F. Okay, and you can also look up 433-A because it's either A or F. But the form allows you to put down what you pay every month. Here's how many people I got in my household. This is how much they're taking out for blah, 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 blah. These are my bills. Y'all make a determination if I can pay. And what they do is they make a determination if your debt is going to be collected or uncollected. If they decide it's uncollected, you won't have to pay anything until your pay amount changes. And please don't think they're not going to know that your pay amount changes. Because remember, you're paying money to the government. You got to file taxes at the end of the year. You can't, if you was making $25,000, but now God done bless you, you making $55,000, you're going to have to start paying. Okay. So that's another option for you. And then, the other option is offering compromise, and that's to offer them a certain amount of money. And then the other option is to do a payment plan. Nobody wants to do a payment plan because now they're going to want a lot. Okay. And the IRS wants these debts to be paid back within 5 to 7 years. So you don't get, 20 years to pay them back. They want it paid in a reasonable amount of time. So if you cannot, then you might want to look at bankruptcy or trying to put your loans in an uncollectible status so that you don't have to worry about them levying your account. Usually when you get that notice that they're levying your account, you probably have some months, okay? You don't have a long time. Whatever you decide, you need to decide it rather quickly because they come like a thief in the night. You will wake up and you will notice that there is less money in your account that was there before because they do not give you a date. If y'all don't watch me, I hope you do start watching me, but I absolutely talked about this and let y'all know that the IRS secretly made, there was a law that passed that they do not need permission from you to go into your bank accounts to take your money. All they got to do is hit the bank with a subpoena, and they're going to see what they need to see, and then they're going to make their decision, and they're going to take what they need to take. So do this quickly if you got that letter. All right, that's very important. User 813 says, does the PSLF discharge still exist? That is the Public Servants Loan Forgiveness. Yes, it still exists. I will tell you again, With all these changes going on in the Department of Education, if you put in the application, you probably ain't going to hear nothing. If you are thinking about putting in an application, please make sure you have all your documentation ready to go so that they can make a firm decision. I will tell you this. When Trump was in office last time, everyone who submitted a public servant loan forgiveness program, almost 80%, maybe even 90% of the individuals, their applications were denied. It wasn't until the Biden administration came in and they said, for you guys who were denied, please reapply. And we will take a look. And a lot of those individuals found that their loans were forgiven. Okay. So do not be surprised if you get a denial because they did it before. It just takes a play on words or one little thing that doesn't fit, and now you're not eligible. And that's the part that sucks when we go through these administration changes, because they like to change everything that somebody else put in place simply because they don't like that person, and having it really, in my opinion, has nothing to do with you. Okay, so unfortunately, you probably it does still exist, but I don't know where you are in your process. If you got a question, please send me a message also. Okay. Service Ranch said, what did you say? Hold on, let me see. Hey Shamika, I came over here because your YouTube completely froze. I don't even know why it froze. And actually, you know what? I really feel like I'm just gonna turn it off. Let me just turn it off because it doesn't matter, because I'm still gonna get what I gotta say out to whomever it applies to and who needs to hear it. So YouTube is tripping. I'm not surprised. TikTok used to be tripping, but I'm still here. And thank y'all for being here too. And thank you for coming over, okay? April says, do you assist with filling out the application for borrower defense loans? Yes, ma'am. Been doing them for at least, 2-3 years now. But I will tell you, like I've told everybody else, because I have been getting messages, I tell everybody, come back to me in June. We got one more month. Let's give it 6 full months for this administration to be in office so that we can see, because nobody, and I mean nobody, and I scourged the internet, has gotten a discharge since this man has taken office. Okay. So to me, that's because they're working on bigger things and not the things, in my opinion, that apply to us. If you believe that you qualify, the rules say that you don't have to do anything. It's going to be automatically done. But I told y'all, don't believe the hype. Always, if somebody owe you some money and they say you're going to pay them back, now you can wait a comfortable amount of time. But if that person doesn't come around, now it's time for me to be proactive to get my money. And that's the same thing you guys going to have to do with the government. Just give it until June. But yes, I absolutely do help you guys fill out the application. Someone that I did, theirs actually came back undelivered after being gone for 6 months. It just sat in the mailbox, and then they just slapped a undeliverable and sent it back. So I don't want that to happen to you guys. I'd rather you apply when it actually is open. Okay. Sonia says, my mortgage company put a mark on my credit. And you guys, I'd rather you apply when it actually is open. Okay. Sonia says, my mortgage company put a mark on my credit and dropped score down 34 points. I am so sorry to hear that. And let me tell you, 34 points is huge. Why? What mark did they put on your credit? Was it a remark, as in they made a comment, or was it a mark as in you were late on your credit? That's what matters. Now, if it's a remark, as in they made a comment, or was it a mark as in you were late on your credit? That's what matters. Now, if it's a remark, like they made a comment, those you can get removed. Okay. If it is a late payment, very difficult to get removed. And unfortunately, your recourse of action would be to get a trade line so that you can boost your score back up. You may not be able to boost it back up 34 points, but even if I can get 15 of those points back, that is better than what I was. Okay. You just can add some trade lines to get that score back up. But remember this business name. Got you. Okay. Hey, Miss Sylvia. All right, let me move on to see if y'all asking anything else, because it's 7:45. Boy, I tell you, 8 o'clock get here quick. Hold on. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Somebody asked me. Charmin Reese says, I received a letter from Georgia advising I need to verify business expenses. Do you assist with those? I do. But here's the thing. I'm telling you, these revenue departments are getting smart. Okay. If nobody knows what this means that Charmin Reese filed her taxes with a Schedule C as a self-employed individual. She listed expenses. Now, you may have slid by the IRS and they didn't ask for proof of expenses, but your state revenue department can ask for proof of business expenses. Now, some of those proofs would be receipts, bank statements, Cash App statements, Apple Pay statements. If you have receipts, and I don't mean receipts that you get printed out in the store. If you actually have the receipts, like you do if you go and you pay your rent, you can provide those things. If you do not reasonably have the verification to prove that those were the expenses, I'm just going to tell you, like I tell my clients, take it on the head, okay, and tell them I cannot verify them. Go ahead on and bill me whatever y'all were going to bill me, okay? And the reason I say that is because sometimes we think that we're smarter than these people who sit and see all types of fraud all the time, and we don't know what they see. We don't know what their training that they get to tell them what to look for when they look at our taxes. And next thing you know, they're going to come back at you. They're going to come back and say, well, you know what? You lied so bad about proving these expenses. Let's go back 3, 4, 5, 7 years, because they can go back that far. Let's go back 7 years and see how many of those expenses they can prove, because you are supposed to have records, okay? And they tell you 3 years, some say 5, I would say 7, okay? And 7 years of keeping records is a very long time. And when it comes to IRS, it should always be 7 years, because that's how far they're going to go back if they suspect that there's fraud. So if you know that you've been filing Schedule C, self-employment, using business expenses for a whole long time, and you know you can't prove now, my suggestion to you would be to tell them to go ahead on and charge it to the game, and you owe just that year, so they don't have to go back and start looking at other stuff, because now the bill's going to do this, going to go up and up and up. Then you may be coming to me saying, girl, well, instead of trying to verify my business expenses, we need to go ahead on and file bankruptcy because I can't pay it, okay? And that's what a lot of people are doing, okay? They can't pay it, all right? And if I didn't mention, yes, you can throw your student loans into bankruptcy, okay? If some of you guys are on disability, I am so shocked. As much as I talk to my family members, I was shocked to find out that one of my family members is on Social Security disability and still has loans out there. And I'm like, I do this to help other people and I charge them, but I do it for y'all for free. And you mean to tell me you got student loans and you hear the messages I say and you ain't doing nothing about it? Please don't let that be you. If you are on Social Security disability, please do your 1-page form. Did y'all hear me say it? 1-page form. That's it. A 1-page form to send to these people to say, look, I get disability. I don't have to pay these, okay? Now, yes, the Department of Education is dysfunctional a little bit, but that doesn't mean you can't print out that form, fill it out, and have it ready to go so that you can send it off this summer like everybody else is going to do, because I do believe Department of Education will have figured out what they're doing and we'll get back to normal. Okay? Fingers crossed. All right? So, Chamarisa, I hope I answered your question, okay? Sonia Michelle said, nope, it was something about a natural disaster. Okay. So, a natural disaster. Hey, Drina, what's up? Okay, look at that. That's the baddie right there, okay? And Drina, I'm glad to see you here, okay? So, what was I gonna say? So the natural disaster, so that means they put a remark on your credit, and they're probably saying that due to a natural disaster, you probably didn't make payments, and they just put that remark on there. So what you can do, if you got a remark on your credit that you do not like, first you can call your mortgage company and ask them, what does this remark mean? It says natural disaster for what? Okay. Did I miss a payment? Did I restructure my mortgage? Find out the details. But then you can also dispute to have a remark deleted. A remark does not have to stay on your credit. Now, if you remove that remark, your score is not going to go back up the 34 points that it dropped. It will go up some. And I do mean some. And some is probably not even 10 points. Okay? I'm even going to lie to you. It's probably not even going to go up 10 points. So your is probably not even 10 points. Okay? I'm even going to lie to you. It's probably not even going to go up 10 points. So your best option still is to open the trade lines to get new credit, to manipulate the score. Still is to open the trade lines to get new credit, to manipulate the score in the algorithm to raise your score to give you more points, okay? But you can have that remark removed if you do not want it there, all right? And that's for anybody. If y'all got remarks, half of y'all don't even know y'all got remarks because the only credit service y'all use is Credit Karma. And although they're cool to look at, I told you guys to make sure you do the annualcreditreport.com and to go scroll down where it says if you have a visual impairment that you can get the hard copy. Y'all remember the hard copy that used to come in the mail? Remember when you used to get denied a credit card and they would say, if you've been denied a credit card, call and you can receive a free copy of your credit report. They don't say that no more. Now, what they want you to do, call and you can put this code in and we'll let you see the computer version. The computer version and the hard copy is completely different. Okay. Yes, it's going to have the same accounts on there. Yes, it's going to, have your balances, late pays and all that. But it's so much more that you need that's on the hard copy that is causing you guys to keep y'all credit messed up because you don't know. Okay. For example, somebody said to me, matter of fact, it was Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon said, I have addresses on my credit report that I want removed. And I said, okay, you want these addresses removed? I said, well, I asked her where she saw them. She said, I listened to you and I got the hard copy. I said, great. I said, if you go back to that credit report, you can see the address and it'll have some numbers underneath it. And those numbers reference which account that you applied for that actually put that address on your credit report. So if you was living at your mama house 10 years ago, on your credit report. So if you was living at your mama house 10 years ago, and that's when you first started your credit journey, and y'all make sure y'all share and tag. The numbers are going up and down, and that's cool. But y'all make sure y'all share and tag somebody and hit the like button, please. But if you started your credit journey 10 years ago and you were staying with your mama or your friend or whatever it is, even if you did an inquiry and you did not get approved for an account, if you did an inquiry or you applied and an inquiry showed up on your account, on your credit report, that address will now show because that's an address you used when you filled out the application, okay? So the only way to remove an address from your credit is you have to remove the account that is associated with first. Once the account is deleted, then there's no need for the address because the address came from the account. So they go together. So you can't remove an address first. You have to remove an account first. Now, if there is an address on your credit that does not belong to you, you've never lived there, someone used your information because people get your information. It's not hard to get. And what did? They used the address that they were at. And that's how that address got on your account. But if the person did not get approved, or you can say, hey, I was a victim of identity theft. As long as you got that police report, they will take that address off, okay? Now, if it's a misspelling of your name or a misspelling of your address, those can be removed without doing anything but saying, hey, this is wrong, delete. Y'all got 17 different spellings. And my name is Shamika, so I have seen my name spelled all kind of ways. But I make sure that those are all deleted because I don't want someone to steal my information and then to spell my name wrong, just like it's spelled wrong on my credit. And then when they apply, the credit company is going to think, oh, well, this must really be her because her name is misspelled here also on her report already. So this person who's applying, even though it's not Shamika, it must be her because they misspelled it the same way it was on your credit. So if your name ain't spelled right, it needs to be removed. Okay, if you're not a junior, but it says you're a junior, or if you're a twin and you got your sister or brother's information on your credit and it's not you, those things need to be removed because you leave yourself open to somebody who's fraudulent to go back and get more credit in your name or with a junior, even if you're not one, because it's already reporting. So it's not hard for the system to think it's really you because it's already there. Or with a junior, even if you're not one, because it's already reporting. So it's not hard for the system to think it's really you because it's already there. Okay? And yes, your girl is dropping gems. All right. Let me see. All All right, so they gave me partial. Partial what? Charming Reese. That's crazy too. Okay. It's almost 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna let y'all ask any last minute questions that you have. I'm gonna drop a couple other gems that I found out. This may apply, this may not apply, but this is just for anyone. Sometimes it's good to have information, even if you don't think you need it. Okay. If you're an individual and you've noticed that your water bill has increased, and most of y'all did not know this. I know I just found this out to be a shock too. I did not know that you can, through your utility company, get a one-time. The increase in your water bill was due to a leak. Okay, so if you got a pool, if you got a toilet, or something's leaking, soon as you fix it, you keep the receipt showing that it was fixed. Then you go to your utility company and say, the reason my bill has fluctuated over this amount of time, because it wasn't like this before, is because of a leak. And here is the receipt showing that I got it fixed. I would like to have a credit of a bill. Okay. And there is some forms you have to fill out. I did look online to see, because I was like, let me find out about this. And that is something that is very, very true. So I don't know if this, who this may apply to. Maybe it may apply to you now. Maybe it may apply to you in the future. But I did want to let you know that there is something that you can do, because things break. Okay. Y'all living in rental houses and all that. And your landlord ain't fixing nothing, but they getting mad because your utility bills are high. You sitting up here paying, and you should not be. This is one of the reasons. Okay, Charmarie says they gave me a partial on my GA taxes. Okay, so if they gave you a partial of your Georgia taxes, then what they did was they removed your expenses and gave you what they think your return would have been without the expenses. And once you verify that the business expenses that you listed, they will give you the rest. So I'm actually glad that they did that, because now you don't have to worry about getting in debt if you tell them, nah, I can't prove it. I threw everything away. I don't have no proof. My computer crashed, or it don't work. I can't get into the system. So if they gave you partial, cool. If they want their money back, then they're only going to want back what they gave you. They're going to add some penalties in there, because that's what they got to do. They got to add penalties and late fees. But that's what the IRS will do. Okay. And I'm sure that's what Georgia is going to do too. So I'm glad they didn't give it all to you, because sometimes you can go from owing nothing and all of a sudden now you owe $5,000 and people freaking out. Okay. It definitely happens. All right. Thank you, beautiful and blessed one. I appreciate you. Hold on. Hey, Amanda. And you better say hey. Let me see. Beautiful and blessed life said I could have utilized the info about 10 years ago replacing the water line break. Ain't that crazy? And you know what is crazy to me is this information is out there and these people know it. The pool companies know it. The plumbers know it. They just don't tell. Why? And the water company doesn't tell. Why don't they tell? I don't know. Because they don't want everybody to have information, because it empowers you. And then once you start seeing like, man, Shamika was on the money. I got to start. They gonna get mad about those things. Why? Because it catches on like wildfire. And now everybody is going to start doing it. And of course they don't want y'all to do that, because that's less money that they get to keep. Okay? So please take the information and run with it. Make sure you tell somebody that if they on Social Security disability, make sure they don't have no student loans. That's very, very important. Okay? Thank you. Chamarie says, gotcha. I'm going to email you. Thank you so much for the gems. You are welcome. And I want to drop one more gem. And y'all know I don't mind putting my business out there. I don't care. I saw something yesterday on the news, and it had just made me so sad. Okay. Now the number of women being single is very staggering. Okay. But the fellas, they are having a good old time running through all the ladies, because one, if they're not down low, if they're not GA, good old time running through all the ladies, because one, if they're not down low, if they're not GAY, if they're not in prison, all these women are still left over, and we need somebody too. Okay. So the what I saw yesterday on the news was a 65-year-old woman. She met this guy. They were dating. She dated him. I don't even think it was a year. And this happened in Atlanta. She found out that she found out that this man was cheating. She kicked him out. He did his thing and he talked her into it, and she let him come back. But her rule was, you want us to be back together. He did it. Now, I don't know if y'all know this is a thing, but people can alter documents. I see it happen all the time. So if somebody is bringing you a paper hard copy, and I don't mean in your hand, I'm talking about internet or a picture. If they bring you something like that and is using that as their proof that they have gotten tested, I don't know if I would believe them. Why? Because people can edit the documents real easy. Take it from your girl, I know. Okay, and not that I have edited any of test results, but I have edited documents before, so I know it can be done. Okay, so this individual edited the document, and the lady thought she was fine, and then 2 weeks later, she found out, because she was sick, she wasn't feeling good. She found out that she had cancer, and then 2 days later, they found out, no, you got cancer, but you also have AIDS. She died 2 days after finding out she had it. And it just made me so furious because 2 days after finding out she had it. And it just made me so furious because, well, this is not, she's not the first person. And people weaponize their private parts against you guys. And that goes for women too. They weaponize their private parts. And some of us don't know because, well, we trust these people. So I am going to give a shout out to Tamar Braxton because I am very glad to have seen her video. And if you guys haven't, where she stated that she was taking the PrEP, I'm going to strongly suggest to my females, men, y'all can do it too, okay? But if you're going to be out there running these streets, okay, even if you're in a committed relationship, if you don't really got, I ain't even going to say, me and the person would actually literally have to go together to the doctor. If we don't go together, then I would suggest that you get on the PrEP pill. And the only reason I'm talking about it is because Black and brown women, especially Black women, are a very high number of recent HIV cases. And there is no reason that you have to be in that number when they have medication that you can take. Okay? I am so tired of so-and-so just was messing with some PUNK. I'm from Florida, so that's what we say. And no shade to anybody who may be watching. But the download thing is just one thing that I just cannot stand. It makes me madder than anything. And I say out them every single time. But what you can do is protect yourself, ladies, and get on the PrEP, the Truvada pill, or the shot, whichever one your insurance will afford to pay, and you take it every day just like you did when you were on birth control, okay? You do your research. You can look right here on TikTok. You can type in PrEP. Most people don't even know that it's available. Most people think that you only take it if you're exposed to it, like you would if you had a plan B. But this is a plan A, okay? If you don't want to get the A, then I would highly suggest you, especially if you're single and not married, and you out there, got a couple boyfriends, you might be seeing this person, or this person got a woman on the side, or you the side chick. If y'all saw my videos about the side chick, if you are that, you should be strongly going to your doctor and let them go ahead on and do your blood work and put you on these pills so that you can prevent. And I'm going to tell you this. The pill is 99% effective in preventing you from getting HIV. It doesn't do all the other stuff. But I tell you one thing. You pick and choose which disease you want and which disease you can live without. Okay? I made my decision. And I said, I am not going to be playing because people lie and people do not tell the truth and will look you right here in your face and tell you a bold-faced lie. And we need to protect ourselves, men and women. But I am strongly talking to the women, and I'm strongly talking to the aunties, the grandmamas, and the mamas, because y'all have nieces. Y'all have daughters. Y'all have granddaughters. These girls are out here, okay? And their lives are being cut short because a man could not be honest about what he's doing in the dark. And if all you had to do is take a pill that's no bigger than a multivitamin, then I don't know what to tell you, okay? So I had to say that because that was on my heart, and I feel so horribly bad for that family. She was 65. 65-year-old woman ain't running the streets. She was trying to be in a committed relationship, but this man was not, okay? And if you don't use your discernment or you don't know how to read red flags, unfortunately, this could be you or somebody that you know. So please let them know to go and get on the PrEP, It ain't gonna hurt you. It damn sure won't kill you, but it will keep you from allowing somebody else to do that. Okay? So let me see what y'all saying real quick, and then after that, I am out of here. Okay, Roderick, thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely want to tell everybody what to do because life is too short, and when nobody got time to be talk about, here lies so and so, they caught the HI to the V, and we could have prevented it. Okay, I'm gonna talk about all kinds of stuff because I am about giving out information, and this is something that I know a lot of people did not even know that they could take, especially women. And why don't they talk about this about women? Because I'm not even going to get into it. But women, we can protect ourselves, okay? You don't got to use a condom if you don't want to. A lot of people ain't using it anyway, okay? Let's keep it real. So if you're not going to be the one that's going to use it, then at least be smart enough to take the pill so that you can lay down in peace. And just like old girl said, get your back broken in peace, okay? Get your back broken in peace without having to worry about God, tomorrow, please keep me, because none of that, okay? Just take the pill and move on, okay? All right, so if y'all don't have any more questions for me, we talked about the student loans. We talked about what you need to do for the student loans. Get on that hardship. We talked about your bankruptcies. We talked about some credit. And we also talked about business credit. Of course, we talked about the prep and anything else. So, if y'all said y'all were going to message me, please message me at shamikasaves@gmail.com. If you want to book an appointment, you can send me a message. I'll send you the link. Or you can go to my website, shamikasaves.com. And please, 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 if you're on YouTube, go on over there and type in Shamika Saves and subscribe to your girl channel, okay? Because all the things that I've been saying, I'm still saying, and they still apply and can help you today, all right? Take care of yourself. Be blessed. I'm here if you need me. Y'all have a wonderful night. I will see you guys next Monday. And for those who are waiting for me for the taxes, I got you tonight. Miss Sharon, text me. I'll answer your text tonight. And if you already got my number and you got a question for what you saw already, send me a message and I will talk to you. Thank you so much, T Black. I appreciate that. Thank you, Just That Cool Mom. I love you guys, and this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help each other and give each other information, because without information, we will all die and perish, and we will always. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help each other and give each other information, because without information, we will all die and perish, and we will always be up to somebody else's control. About y'all, but I want to be able to have as much control over my life as possible, and the only way I'm going to do that is to take the information that I know and use it, and I'm going to pass that on to you, just like I will hope you to do the same for me if you find out something. Okay, so thank y'all. Have a good night, and I'll see you next week. Bye. If you find out something. Okay, so thank y'all. Have a good night, and I'll see you next week. Bye.